So, press ups on the floor. We want to make sure that we have the hands just a little bit wider than shoulder width. I'm going to set up in this all fours position, knees underneath the hips, and then I can set my feet back. I'm going to set the feet ideally around sort of hip width, shoulder width. The wider the better, the more stable my base. My pelvis, I should be kind of tilted up a little bit towards my face, core nice and tight, making sure that I'm nice and braced as I go through this, okay? Slowly down towards the floor, I want to control by pinching my shoulder blades together, keeping my elbows tucked, and then pressing away. Making sure you take it nice and slow, you don't rush through your reps, working to what would be the greatest range of motion that you can perform it. And making sure, as I said, shoulder blades in and elbows are tucked, okay? Play around with the width of your hands. If it feels more comfortable to go slightly wider, that's fine. But all I'd say is make sure you're not kind of letting the shoulders dump and shrug up towards your ears and your elbows flare as you go through. Another thing would be making sure that the hips aren't staying up too high and you're essentially just hinging at them. Hips need to travel along with the body as you go through, okay? Now, with this from here, in terms of regressions, that can be quite difficult. So for some of us, we might need an easier version to work up to the full press up, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna set ourselves up. This is the kind of next easiest step down. Set up as normal, perform the negative portion of the rep, so slowly control down all the way to the floor, drop the knees and then press back up. We can perform these at the end of what would be maybe like a fatiguing set, where we've done as many as we can from a full position, or maybe that's our starting point, where we perform the negative from our feet, drop the knees, and then push from there, okay? Next easiest one will be a press up from an elevated surface. So the higher I go, the easier I'm making it, so make sure you just find something that's challenging enough for you. From here you can see I'm gonna set up, hands just across the barbell, still in a very similar position where I pinch the shoulder blades, pause, and then press away, elbows staying nice and tucked, control the whole way through, core nice and tight, okay? If I don't have access to an elevated surface, that's fine. We can go to a press up from the knees. Now, one thing we need to make sure here is, you can see from here, I want to almost set up as long as I can with the knees, rather than being almost like really close to me. So what I'd say is, set the feet out as if you're about to do like a full press up, and then bring the knees down. You can see from here my body is nice and long, rather than being kind of really close and compact, where I perform my press up and my bum is up nice and high. So ideally we want to be out a little bit wider. I want to tip forward so that I come over my hands. You can see from here my hands are about armpit height, rather than being like all the way up and flared towards my shoulders. So from here is where I should ideally be performing my reps, dropping my hips down so that my hips and my chest are almost about to touch the ground as I get into that bottom position, okay?